Last time in the Menagerie of Mayhem, we started with an empty plot of green, a nervous laugh, and a wheel deciding the fate of our zoo, and somehow ended up with hippos swimming past guests eating fries? One of my more questionable choices, I admit. In just 25 years, we added ostriches, koalas, palace cats, hippos, and a castle. For the cats, of course. We built a butterfly sanctuary gift shop, fake expanded exhibits, and a custom staff zone watched over by none other than the almighty googly-eyed bison manager. We also discovered that I cannot build small, rocks fix everything, and these butterflies, they're the real moneymakers around here. The zoo is thriving, we're 600k in the green, and I might have replaced a dead animal or two without telling anyone. So whether you're returning for more wheel chaos or you're brand new to this mayhem, welcome in. Let's dive into your 26 through 50 of letting this wheel control my life. Nice to see the menagerie working as intended. Everything is flowing, nothing is out of place. We're finally starting to look somewhat like a zoo. And then there's these idiots. I'm not sure why they always keep getting stuck here. I assume it's because this is where the gift shop meets path, but, you know, I'm not really sure. Just listen to their cries of stupidity. Okay, I will help you out of there. Up you go, you morons. Oh, and I'm popping all of your balloons. No balloons for stupids. I'm sure I'm gonna have to come back here and clear this spot again and again. Back to our wheel so we can see who the next cutie to join the mayhem will be. African buffaloes! Well, this big boy has many friends that they are compatible with, so this will have to be a bigger habitat just in case if we roll one of these other guys, then we could just add them in. First, before we go into build, I wanted to show some of you about the curving path trick. I got some comments asking about how I curve my path, and I thought that I would show you because it's kind of hard to explain. After you lay out your path in the way you want it, like this for example, then you're going to go over to one of the corners of the path and make the path placement clicky thing look like this, right on the corner, and then you place the path and then just right click to delete it. Do not just undo it with Control Z because then it'll just go back to how it first looked. Definitely make sure you right click to delete it. You can do this with all of your corners, and as you can see, it just expands this area more and more and more, and pretty soon we will have a nice plaza type area that we can add maybe food stalls to, some benches for our guests. Just be careful because there are some clicks that will do some funky things, and before you know it, you can ruin the whole thing. Control Z to undo, and don't worry, you can always go back to how it used to look before you got greedy and took it too far. Oh, and I almost forgot, I wanted to spin the wheel to find out what material theme that I should be using per build too. I don't know if all of these have full building parts with them, and if they don't, we'll just roll another one and use two different themes. East Asian. Oh, East Asian and African buffaloes. I'm sure it'll be fine. East Asian comes with the base game, and they are some of my favorite building pieces. Maybe it's because I'm a panda, but pagoda and cherry blossom trees, sign me up. Right now I'm working on the custom guest fence, and much like the camels, I'm going to make a walkthrough area for the guests to see them sleeping, but first I need to finish off this fence with another layer to keep the animals away from the guests too. I don't know if African buffaloes bite, and I don't intend to find out. I'm going to start laying down the building for what will be used for their hard shelter for the buffalo and whatever else ends up in here with them. I'm going to again utilize one-way glass. I know, it is not East Asian theme, but one-way glass doesn't count, right? I also need to add a small area for swimming. They don't need deep water like the hippos, but they do need some water to swim to cool off in from the heaters that will be added last to this habitat. Now let me just finish off this building by making it a tad bit bigger. Who knows, maybe we'll roll some giraffes. And I'm going to add plenty of beds in here and finish off the roof. And it was just about this time that I remember that this was supposed to be a covered walkthrough area, and I just finished off the roof. But that's okay, we don't need to delete our mistakes around here, we work with them. Trust me, this isn't the first mistake and it won't be the last. See what I mean? Duh, the guests need a way back out so they don't double back on the path and create a roadblock. A nice idea in theory, but I'm sure the guests won't cooperate with the way that I want them to walk. But I made this path, and if they get stuck, then that's their fault and their balloons shall be popped. I wanted to add this nice water wheel. I felt like I needed a water feature, and I didn't really want to make another waterfall since I had just made one with the hippos. But this should be a nice touch for sure. Let me just plug slap down a little building so it looks like it has purpose and reason and isn't just floating there. And I'm also going to add some of these waterfall splash effects where the water is getting picked up and a little bit more where the water is being dumped back off. And I'm sad that there's no actual water in the wheel, but oh well, maybe Planet Zoo too, right? Now on for your favorite part and mine. Time to add rocks and foliage. So much better. And of course we need our enrichment for the buffalo, a nice little mud bath over here. Unfortunately, I haven't had any luck finding a male buffalo as of late. I know I have conservation credits, but I don't really want to spend them on an African buffalo just for mating. I'll keep my eye on the market, but for right now, it's gonna be a ladies only party. And this is our final look at our new habitat. Like I said before, this habitat is pretty big. I'm hoping that I will roll a few more species to add into here with our African buffalo. Although I do think it would be kind of funny if I didn't and they're just stuck in this huge habitat by themselves. I'm sure they won't mind. And flying over, we get another look at our mud bath. I like to add some water to my mud pools to better explain why they're a bit muddier in this area instead of just throwing down a mud pool and calling it a day. Welcome to the grasslands, my friends. Love it. And I did manage to find a boy on the marketplace for next to nothing, so he is now in there. And here's our educator who should be able to throw food into the pen for them. Surprisingly, they can't jump out of here. I mean, you would think that they would totally just be able to jump right on out, but oh, look away, kids. The animals are getting freaky with it in the back. Well, educator, this is the perfect opportunity to talk about babies. Back to our wheel so we can see what is next on the agenda. Oh, the Cuvier's dwarf caiman. Cuvier? I don't know. I'm not sure I'm really pronouncing that right. I think it's Cuvier's dwarf caiman. That's what I'm gonna go with. I also decided to roll 2 themes per build this time, so that way there's less chance that I just get the same combo. And for the CDC, I rolled Australian and aquatic. These little guys don't need too much space, but when has that ever stopped me from going completely over the top? And yes, this is editing panda foreshadowing. But that's okay, because I'm going to make my dwarf caimans an infinity pool, or something like that. I stopped here because the non-boxed-in waterfalls looked, to me, like they're going backwards? Is it just me? They look like the water's flowing up. I don't know. It might be just me, but I swapped them out for the box version instead. A little bit more annoying to hide all the seams, but it does seem like the water is flowing in the right direction now, and it's got a nicer splash effect to it than the other version did anyways. Never fear, we'll just hide the box with our favorite thing ever, rocks. But first, take a moment to join me in laughing at my past self thinking that this was the appropriate size. What the heck am I honestly building for? A big boy saltwater crocodile? Yeah, no, I literally have no words. I'm just gonna keep things simple for myself here and use the fences that are in the aquatic pack, hands down one of the better DLCs to splurge on if you're into building. And I want to add a room for the keepers to access easily since there isn't a lot of walking that they'll be able to reach to in this habitat. Of course, the keepers will need a hut that is in close range to keep walking time down. I like to make each of my habitats with a keeper hut relatively close by for feeding, and our caimans are no exception. I also squeezed in another staff room too. In this area we have camels, the grasslands, the food court, and now the caimans. And that's a lot of exhausted employees fighting over one staff room fit for 4. I don't want them to start a worker strike on me now. And I left the middle open for the caimans so they could still benefit from the sunlight whenever they are eating. Now to finish off the back wall for this habitat, this rock formation is so beautiful. Thank you so much to this creator here. I plucked this off the workshop. I have over 150 pieces that I am subscribed to on the workshop, and most of them are scenery pieces like this. I like to try and build my own buildings, but sometimes it's nice to pull things off the workshop so you can take them apart and see how the creator managed to make something so dang pretty. And speaking of workshop, I'm not sure if this zoo is going to end up on the workshop. I do use mods, which I will be listing in the description box below. But if I do decide to put this on the workshop, it'll be after I'm done with all 100 years of this zoo. And for my next series that I do, I will be taking my mods that don't play nice with the workshop out of my game and be making a modless playthrough for you guys so that way I can put it on the workshop and it is much easier to view. Time to snap our fingers and add rocks. Oh my gosh, so much better. Foliage. Beautiful. Also, don't forget to always be selling your butterflies. Just look at how much money these little beauties are bringing in for us. Let me just place these guys in here and Oh my gosh, look how tiny and cute! What was I thinking when I built them this gargantuan habitat? Here's our final look at our Cuvier's dwarf caiman habitat. I am ashamed. I have no excuses this time for why I made such a luxuriously large space, but it looks cool. I might lose them in here though. Maybe I'll split this habitat in half and stick the other caiman species on the top when and if we roll them. I really do like this dock and shack that I built up here. I also added a little heat light in there for them to bask. And there they have their mud pit complete with water to keep it nice and muddy for them. Welcome to Cayman Falls, I guess. Oh my god, this is so much more space than they need. Who is the new king and queen of this zoo? These guys, apparently. Sorry, King Arthur. Let's also change the water and make it a little less clear looking. Maybe add some bubbles. Oh, and some mist. Oh no, oh, too much mist. Abort the mist, that's too much. Oh god. Don't worry, I didn't forget to add the lilies. Well, I did for like half a second, but then I remembered. And look how cool our little one is swimming through them. I thought about just deleting the whole upper level, but then my Cayman Hydra demon walked up the ramp and into their honeymoon pool at the top, and I couldn't. And speaking of honeymoon, she's already pregnant and expecting some babies. Better make sure she gets some extra num yummies for the babies. Oh, twins. Look how stinking cute. I want a whole zoo with just reptiles. They just do not get enough love. And back to the wheel, what is the next animal that we are building for? Ooh, the grizzly bears. Oh, is he a distant cousin to the pandas? I don't know and I don't care. I love him already. And we are building with Festival. Oh, I haven't used the building materials from the Asia Animal Pack yet. And Twilight, which is from the Twilight Pack, obviously. The first thing I'm going to get to work on is copying and using these same rocks from our snow leopard habitat. I want to make a back rock wall, but I also want to make a cave. I want the bears to have a nice cozy place to hibernate. I then pushed back a bunch of the rocks near the back so I can make a little viewing area for them sleeping in their cave for our guests. This will also be a cave that the guests can enter and see the bears, learn some knowledge, donate their monies, and then leave. They could leave the cave. If you haven't noticed, I like to exploit my animals' sleeping spots. Now that kind of looks like a cave. I moved on to build the fence, and I admit I give the Twilight Pack far more attention in this build than the festival pieces. I can't help it. Just look how nice these pieces look. I love the way this double fence turned out. It looks so clean, so nice. Good job, me. I already feel like I used a lot of rocks, so I'm not going to go too ham on adding more, just a few. I also used rocks to cover the staff door too. If you didn't know, you could actually completely cover this door 100% and your staff will just walk through whatever building pieces you place on top of it. Spooky. And this is what we're looking at after a few rocks and foliage. Last, I'm going to add habitat-specific items for our bears. It seems like we have a few things researched already, so we'll be able to give them quite a bit of food and toy enrichment right from the start. Why are bears so damn expensive? Who did this? 10K? Really come on, guys. This is what is wrong with franchise mode. After about 20 or so minutes, I found one that was much more affordable to me, and I snagged her up as quickly as I could before she was gone. Placing the bears, I wanted to make sure that they couldn't escape, which they couldn't. All looks good. Oh, and just look at that. It's only double the size that they need. I'm okay with that. Welcome to my grizzly habitat. They have this little raised up area in the back so they can eat and still give the guests a nice view. And there, their little cozy cave is over here. These orange trees are some of my absolute favorites. And just look at this double fence. I can't get over how nice it turned out. We have our golden bear statue outside of Sleepy Bear Cave. And this bear claw statue is something I got off the workshop by this creator here. I thought it was too cute not to use. And into this cave we have more education where the educator will teach more about our bears back here. Just keep your voice down in the cave. We don't want to wake up the bears when they're hibernating. I don't know about you, but I mean, I could use a nice hibernation once a year too. Now back to the wheel, we got the Asian small-clawed otter. Oh, otters are so much fun to watch at the zoo. And we're going to be using Indonesian building pieces and East Asia building pieces. Now otters are confident around people, and it says people can enter their habitat. What? I want to know which zoo I can go to and sit with the otters. Please let me know. And it doesn't seem like they need much space. They do need water to swim in and to dive in. Now let's close this and promptly forget everything I just said. Starting off with their barrier, I'm going to be placing them outside the gift shop. This should be more than enough space for them. Getting the water to stay in this area took longer than I cared to admit. Now onto their little hide. This will be where they can hide from guests and sleep if they want a little peace and quiet. And no, I won't exploit their sleeping arrangements this time. And this is what we're looking like so far. I want a little creek in the middle of this habitat, and of course that means that we need waterfalls to keep the water moving. Don't want to create a cesspool for mosquitoes to exist in our zoo now, do we? Ugh. And after rocks, this is what we're working with. Now a little plant life to really bring it all together. I added some benches and a nice little covered area right outside the otter underwater viewing area so people can sit and just enjoy these little playful pups. Manager Googly Eye Bison is here to make sure that our workers take good care of our newest residents. Now let's add them to their home and oh dear. They hate everything. Well, can't win them all, I suppose. It's okay. I could fix this. I just need to rearrange some of my beautiful work. See, Panda, this is why we stay in sandbox mode. Hold please. This'll take a minute. There, now that wasn't too bad. It could have been way worse. They now have an area of deeper water to dive in. I might mess with this some more and make it deeper all over, but for now, this will just have to do. I think we might have to put these guys on contraceptive after a baby or two though, because they're right on the edge of what they like for this habitat size. Too big or too small? Apparently there's no in between for this panda. But look how cute they are! I'll do better next time, I promise. I know, I can hear you all yelling at me from the comments section. Panda, you forgot that deep water! And we have protesters. I swear, you let one koala die and it messes up the social group for all of them. These guys are just chomping at the bit to come in and wave their stupid signs around at whatever. It is okay, y'all can go home. I already adopted some new friends. My koala is no longer lonely. They're still chanting. Can I just pick them up and put them in there with the bears? Yeah, get it all out of your system. You good? You realized your mistake? You weren't even heading to the koalas. Why do you have low welfare? What's wrong? No climbing space? Wait, what? What do you mean? You have plenty of climbing space. Why don't you have the green little lines like you can climb? All the climbing is enabled. What's going on? Who knew out of all the animals, these little fuzzy butts would be the ones that give me the most trouble? It's okay though, I can't stay mad at them. Just look how cute and cuddly. Now back to the wheel we got. Oh, the spectacle came in. Well, you know what? I know why I made Cayman Falls so darn big now. What if we just barricade this off like this? Have the guests walk across the falls on an elevated bridge-looking path thing. Wrap a path around like so. Maybe we could put the other Cayman up here. Now the guests don't have any other choice but to turn around and walk back out. Not ideal, but I think for now this could work out pretty well. This upper level will really get some use out of it now, see? I got way too ambitious with this build the first time around, but it all seems to have worked out in my favor in the end, so you know, yay. What do you guys think of our new Cayman Falls? I personally think it's one of my favorites so far. And the bear fence. I really like how clean that turned out. I have to give myself little play breaks, otherwise I would just keep it paused and build forever. I mean, we have the money. The zoo is doing great. Do I need to think about another entrance soon? Or a ride? Ugh, I hate the rides. They just seem to guzzle down the money and have no good return back. There are babies everywhere up in the menagerie. I got baby cows just mooing away over here without a care in the world. Baby otters, they're the cutest and probably one of my all-time favorites, next to pandas, of course. And look! So many baby dwarf cayman, and now Mama Spectacle Cayman is going to give birth as well. To 1, 2, 3, 4, oh my, 5? 5, oh my god. Okay, maybe we need to go ahead and put Papa on some contraceptive because he is locked and loaded apparently. 5, well, they are cute, aren't they? Just look at those big ol' eyes, adorable. I'm here for the babies and the building if you don't know, the double B's. But we'll get back to talking about my double Bs another time. Let's go back to rolling the wheel. Next up is the puff adder. Oh, our first exhibit animal for this video. That's good. I do need a break from overbuilding habitats. And you guys know I'm already going to make another expanded exhibit. I can't help it. I really think these little boxes should be bigger. Well, I think everything should be bigger, honestly. And that was your opportune moment to say, that's what she said. I got this simple yet nice expanded exhibit up and running. I feel like each one of my exhibits could be so much more unique by making them larger than they really are, and I'm really enjoying making these. Can you tell? Back to the wheel for another spin. Come on, wheel, I'm on a roll. Big money, no whammies. Ooh, the Bengal tiger. Now that's what I'm talking about. Big kitty. And today I will be overbuilding with zookeeper and Planet Zoo themes. I don't even know why I am looking at this. I'm going to make this double the size they need at least. I have a problem. The Trade Center does have some tigers, but dear lord, people, why? Adriana, does tiger poop gold, huh? What about you? Namar? Huh? Does it fly? No. Rook Zoo? Does your tiger have a unicorn horn that can shoot rainbows? Jeez, guys, this is what is wrong with franchise mode. People are here to have fun. What good does it do to hoard millions of conservation credit points, huh? What does it even do? Annoying. Whatever. Not gonna worry about that now. First, the part we all love to hate. The path. I wanted an elevated area for the guests to really get a good view of the tigers, and this will later also be where our educator will hold their talks as well, and under the elevated path we will put our one-way glass for, you guessed it, their sleeping spot. Now, it took me way too long messing with this path, but I think I finally got it to the way I want, or at least the way the game wants me to want it. Whatever, it's good enough. And yeah, I can already tell this is going to tell me that it is too big, but it really doesn't look that big to me. Oh well, I'm not gonna change it. No, not gonna. I like it, and this will do. Especially after I added some rocks and a small pond with a little bit of a stream going through their habitat. I'm also going to add a shelter, but not for sleeping. They already have that in front of the guests. I'm going to place their food in the shelter instead. Now that the rocks are done, let's focus on some foliage. Much better. I adore the cherry blossom tree. They look so good in here. And adding the rest of the species-specific habitat items, I think it is just about time that we add our tigers in here and have them have a look around. This is our finished tiger habitat, complete with shed for them to enjoy their meals in, their sleeping area that is covered by the elevated pathway, and this cute little creek area that opens to a much bigger pond with a lovely cherry blossom in the middle. I used the special effects to simulate the cherry blossoms falling, and I love it. Coming up to the top of the walkway, we have our covered talk point ready for our educator to teach our guests all about our new tigers. And of course, down at the bottom, we have some benches and a wonderful view into the tiger habitat. I hope the guests appreciate the work I put into this. I gave it at least a medium amount of thought, honestly. Oh, and look, tigers can climb the cherry blossoms. I don't know why that seems like such a shock to me. They are just big cats after all. Look how cute she is up there. These two wasted a little time on getting down with making some babies for the zoo, and I'm not mad about it. Guests, and especially Panda, we just love the little babies. Oh, just one this time, Mama? That's okay. He's gonna be a little terror, I can tell. Oh, and the little noises he makes. I love him so much already. The animations he have when he's laying down are just the cutest. But I have wasted a long enough time on this play break. We are on year 40, 10 more to go. Let's see what I will be working on next. The wheel says the scimitar horned oryx. Oh, wait a minute. Are they one of the species that can cohabitate with the African buffalo? I think it is. Ooh, it is! Oh, well, that's just wonderful. I was worried that they would be stuck in there all alone. Fantastic. The Trade Center only has ladies right now, but I'm going to adopt these and add them into the grasslands. Yes, work, my minions. Googly Eye Bison commands you to work. And after placing them and making sure that they cannot escape, we can see that there is still plenty of space for 1 or 2, maybe 3 more species to be added into the grasslands. Oh, and look at them instantly going undercover to start a cuddle puddle with the buffaloes. Welcome to your new home, ladies. Now I got work to do. Next up from the wheel, we rolled the red-eye tree frog, an exhibit animal. Well, you know what that means. Yep, another larger exhibit. Not much to say here. This turned out fantastic. I love it. The mist effect is just Chef's kiss. We're on a roll, now let's go. Next up we have the European fallow deer. Such beautiful deer. One of my favorites next to the red deers. And for our building theme for this build, we are going to be using classic and Europe. Oh, very fitting. Starting off, I'm going to just place down this fence to keep the guests on their path. I don't want them to try and stick their hands in the habitat and pet the deers, because Lord knows that's what I would want to do. Then I'm going to combine a few of these metal pieces and make a larger fence to put behind the first layer of fence to keep the deer from jumping over and escaping. I want to leave this area open over here for the educator to be able to interact with the deer though, and really give the guests a good up-close look at them while teaching people all about them. Next, I want to make a sleeping area for the deer, and you know I'm adding windows to it for the guests to catch them snoozing. It was about this time that I realized that this was definitely too big of an area for the deer, and don't worry, I scaled it way back for them. There, now this looks way more cozy for them. I wanted to pretend that this is a feed silo right next to the habitat. I'm going to put a fake door on it, knowing that my staff will just phase right through the wall either way. And I'm going to put the keeper hut in here. Now, if you look at the heat map, you can see that the guests will still be pretty upset if they were close to this keeper hut because it's not decorated enough. Typical whiners. So I'm going to show you guys a little trick. In the plants area, there is one that you should all favorite. It's called the century plant. This plant is base game, so everyone should have it. If you place this plant and then on PC, Control Z and rotate it just slightly and keep doing that a few times, maybe like 10 or so, until they're all fanned out, they're all stacked on top of each other like this. Select them all, merge the scenery into one piece so it's easier for you to move, and just move it right next to your building that you want to lower the heat map for. And you only need like one. You don't even need more than one. But you could place more if you want to. Pop back into the heat map just to make sure, and look at how much it reduced the area. There, that's your panda tip for the day, folks. You're welcome. Stepping back, this is what our habitat is looking like so far. Next, the magic of rocks. Looking good, but it could be better. Now let's add some foliage next. Let's finish up the guest path and add our habitat-specific items like feeding trough, water, some enrichment items that I recolored. I found a male and some females to add in. So let's take a closer look at this beautiful habitat. I really like the way the foliage just brought the whole thing to life. It is just so dang pretty. I can get pretty carried away when it comes to foliage, but I think for this, it works very well for this particular species. Of course, the guests can see the fallow deer sleeping in their nice heated barn with education sprinkled around. I love the little leaf piles that I added onto the roof. It's not an easy place for the keepers to clean off on a regular basis. And that is our European fallow deer habitat. Done. Again, fallow deers are one of my favoriteest species of deer. I love how they keep all their little spots that are normally only found on fawns and other species. It didn't take long for the male fallow to get down with his ladies and start popping out some babies for the menagerie either. Just look how adorable! And also, I found a male oryx in the trade center, so the zoo now has another new addition. Oh no, baby, don't step in that! Ew, keeper! We need a keeper over here. Gross. Not you, baby. You're cute. Don't worry. I added some more food and water over by the grizzlies to help the guests since the lines have been so long in all of our other places. But we can't have donuts without some coffee, right? And I should definitely add another bathroom if we're adding coffee. I'm just saying. The next couple of roles ended up being exhibit animals, which I didn't spend too much time on. The Goliath beetle I just placed in an exhibit down by the new food stalls that I just made. Just stuck the beetles in there and called it a day. I was having a really hard time accepting how big these boys are, so I wanted to insert a picture of a male Goliath beetle on a person's hand. Just look how huge! My soul would leave my body if one of those came flying at me. The next exhibit animal that we rolled was the golden poison frog, and I know exactly where this one will go. Right next to our red-eye tree frog. I built most of this on the grid, so it was pretty easy to just copy this over and mirror it to the other side. Made a few tweaks so that way it fit the frame of the shell better. Changed this giant frog yellow, and that really brought it all together. Added a sign and some education for our guests. Just look at these little cuties. My child was homesick when I was building this, and he wanted me to name all the frogs, so let me introduce you guys to Banana, Papaya, Nacho, and Bellpepper. Absolutely perfect names if you ask me. Right back to the wheel, and it says Blacktail Prairie Dogs. Ooh. And I'm going to be using zookeeper and Australian themes to build with. Now, if you're just starting out in franchise mode and you want a good species to start with to put at the front, this is the species for you. They're small, they don't require a lot, they're cute as all heck. I've been waiting to roll a turtle or something to put in the front of my zoo, but these little black-tailed prairie dogs will be perfect for this spot. And I know I rolled a few themes, but I'm going to be just using a couple of building pieces to make a custom fence, and then I'm going to be mostly just using terrain modification for their habitats. I want to use these habitat burrows, and I want at least 2 of them, but after playing with the terrain a bit, I realized that it wasn't going to be as easy as I was hoping it would be. After I place them down, it flattens a huge area out, and I can't even build the terrain up and over them to like cover it, which is kind of annoying. So I will use my tried and true rocks. Rocks will help everything out. I downloaded from the workshop a color match to all the faux rocks from the aquatic pack, and I'm going to be using these to better fill in the little mounds. I'm also going to try not to go overboard with the foliage, but it's so hard. This buffalo grass just yearns to be everywhere, does it not? It brings so much life to a habitat. Favorite buffalo grass too, it's just too good. Finishing it up with the new keeper hut and some decorative foliage around the area to help fill in the empty spaces. And here is our final flyover. With education and enrichment added, the keepers have their own area to enter and feed these little guys. I just really like the way all these faux rocks came together to help build up this mound and hide not 1, but 2 burrows for our new little prairie dogs. What do you guys think? They are so cute. Look at them. I'm really happy that they could walk through the grass. Sometimes foliage can stop animals from moving around in an area. Oh, and look at this one playing with the bubbles. Oh, my heart. Bless his little soul. And they do use the habitat burrows, which is really good to know, but most of the time they just kind of make their own burrow. Just look at all the holes they've left in the habitat already. Back to the wheel. Come on, this might be our last build. Give me something good. Give me something... Oh, the Somalian wise ass. I mean wild. You know, let's just call it an equus. Yeah, and for the habitat I will be using zookeeper and Oceania themes. Very interesting. Okay, pretty sure these are desert dwelling donkeys, but well, let's just see what we can come up with. I'm going to stick them behind the fallow and the grassland area to help drive guests this way even more, although I don't think these are one of the more appealing animals, to be honest. Nothing too crazy going on over here, just going to add a simple custom double fence for both our guests and our new hoofed friends. Then I'm going to start adding some shelter to this area, and to me this didn't quite look big enough, so I did end up pushing the shelter back just a little bit. Nothing too complicated, just add some rocks, sprinkle in some foliage, and these guys are pretty easy, just the desert biome to choose from. I dot the new habitat with enrichment items that should keep them pretty happy. After placing them in here, I realized that I was either really good at predicting the size with it being just right, or I coulda, shoulda went a little bigger. Either way, this daddy donkey will be getting some contraceptive after giving us a baby for the zoo. And here is our final flyover. Simple and cute for our new pair of Somali wild asses. Asses? I don't know. Stop saying asses, Panda. Oh, and that didn't take too long. Look at how cute the little one is. The Somali are critically endangered, so it is good that we're able to breed them, even if it is just 1 at a time. I think I have time for 1 more animal to be added to the zoo. What do y'all think? What am I saying? Of course you agree. Let's go. Come on, Wheel. Give me something big. I'm ready for it. Goliath frog. Thanks, Wheel. Okay, nothing to see here. I just added this into the area with all the other frogs. I did decide to call this area Frog Alley, though. It did seem fitting. Before we rolled on into year 50, I made sure all my vets finished up research for all the new species that we have added into the zoo this go-around. The zoo is still flourishing, with guest education still kind of trailing behind, and now guest happiness is also starting to fall. I will need to work on adding some more food and water around the park next go-around. Pretty sure thirst is my biggest complaint. Whiny little buggers, aren't they? But we have reached profit year after year, and that is all we can hope for. In fact, as we're heading into year 50, we just hit $3 million in the zoo's bank account. We're ready for elephants, ladies and gentlemen. Also, before I show you the final flyer on the zoo, look what I discovered. A melanistic fallow deer. Look how beautiful she is. I was hoping for a boy, but maybe she'll be able to give me some sons. I'm so happy she's so beautiful. I thought about making a black and white zoo with nothing but melanistic and albinos. You know, like a panda. And look at that! She has the best name too, if I do say so myself. She even has the H, which is the only correct way to spell Sarah. And just like that, here we are, year 50. 15 more species have entered the zoo for a grand total now of 28 different species. It started with a patch of dirt, an ostrich, and a dream. And now look at this chaos we lovingly call a zoo. I can't help but feel a tiny pang of pride, like watching your toddler build something weird out of spaghetti noodles and duct tape and saying, yeah, that's art. From the moment I popped the first balloon of a clueless guest to this final baby donkey that was born into this mess, it has been a ride. We've had animals who hated everything, staff who go on mental vacations mid-shift and can't seem to ever muck out the camel pens, frogs with food-based names, and the tiniest prairie dogs living their best life under mounds of faux rocks. We've made an otter creek, a sleepy bear cave, a tiger sanctuary, and 2 luxurious cayman suites that could probably rent out for like $4,000 a night in the real world. And through it all, the wheel just kept spinning. A blessing, a curse, my frenemy on the other screen. But we made it work somehow. Every species, every build, every accidental scenic disaster turned into artistic genius. All of it became part of something bigger than me just goofing off. It became our zoo. To everyone who's been watching this journey, whether you've been here since year 1 or you just stumbled in looking for a Planet Zoo video that wasn't 95% pathing tool suffering, thank you. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, screaming at your screen that I forgot deep water again, and for being a part of this absolutely bonkers journey. The zoo has grown, and so have we. Mostly in the number of exhibit animals and rocks. Oh, so many rocks. If you enjoyed this madness, don't forget to hit the like button, share your favorite animal moment in the comments below, and subscribe if you want to stick around to see what happens in year 51 to 75. Because if you think this was wild, we're just getting started. I'm Panda, and I'll see you on the next spin of the wheel. Bye!